You're about to hear an absolute incredible phone call right now. This phone call happened many years ago. I was calling an internet lead, and I was calling for the person on the lead form. The person that answered the form, though, was the spouse, and the spouse got pretty irritated with me right off the bat. What happened was I sensed the frustration. I could sense exactly what the issue was, and I addressed the issue. I addressed his frustration, and also at the end of the day, I started to relate to him. I started using his first name, which was really, really important. I was empathetic to his situation, and I isolated the problem, which ended up continuing the conversation. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to jump into this phone call, and I want you to listen to this very intently and see exactly what I said and how I said it. And at the end of the day, what ended up happening was I ended up with a customer because I focused not on a transaction, but I actually focused on a relationship.
Hello?
Yes, hello. Good afternoon. May I speak to Karen, please?
No, you cannot. This is her husband, Gary.
Okay, Gary. My name is Greg Gurbikian. I'm actually a Medicare supplement specialist in Virginia. Looks like it must have been either you or her. We're looking for some help on the health insurance right now.
Well, I've got about 6 phone calls. Is this a private organization or is this Medicare Part D for the government?
Well, what I can understand your frustration, Gary. I've been in the business for almost 10 years right now. A lot of times what ends up happening is that when you go on some of these websites, just because of lead systems out there, it gets sold to several different companies out there, and you start getting quite a few phone calls, and I can understand how that would be irritating. Let me ask you, because I've got parents that are on Medicare myself. I've written some articles for Medicare. What were you looking for initially when you went on the computer? Maybe I can either help you or kind of point you in the right direction.
Okay, I'm looking to get Medicare Part D for my wife. That's all. No supplements. Medicare Part D.
Okay. Let me ask you this question, because it looks like, according to the information, her birthday is February 28th of 1948. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay, so then she would have been Medicare eligible.
But we have private insurance that runs out at the end of this month. I was employed and I am retired now.
Okay,
so
okay.
my benefits run out as of January 31st. So we did not take, I've signed her up for B.
Okay,
and I'm looking to sign her up for D now, because as of the end of this month, or starting February 1st, she will no longer have prescription drug.
Okay, and then so she'll have basically her Part B then starting on February 1, and then also would need the drug plan as well for February 1.
That is absolutely correct.
Perfect. Okay, we're on the same page. And let me ask you, because obviously Medicare is wonderful. It's nationwide coverage, but it doesn't work very well without some type of a supplemental coverage to cover the other 20%. Have you taken care of that already for her?
We are in the process of doing that.
Okay. What
we've
company?
got a consultant that I'm working with to get the supplement.
Okay.
But what he said is to sign up for Part D, and that's what I'm trying to accomplish now, is only to sign up for D.
Okay, and here's my thing, and I'm kind of throw it out to you, because I've been in this business for too long, and it really kind of upsets me when people kind of do this type of thing. Is that as a consultant, because I consider myself a consultant as well, is that as a consultant, you should be able to consult your client on everything from A to Z. You should be able to help them with their B, you should help them with their supplement, you should help them with their drug plan. You should do everything for them when it comes down to being a consultant. So what type of a gentleman is this? I mean, if you're working with me, we'd have the supplement done, the drug plan done. I mean, I don't leave my customers hanging and tell them go fend for yourself and finding a drug plan.
Well,
So I'll stop it right there. You see how I handle this? I made sure that Gary saw me as the expert in my field. I related to him. I related to the fact that I understood why he was frustrated. He was getting a lot of phone calls. He had gone on some websites and probably gone on multiple websites, so it wasn't just our website. He went on several different websites, and all of a sudden was getting lots of phone calls. And he thought he initially only needed Part D. What he didn't understand is that he needed me. And that's what I portrayed in this phone call. See, every phone call that you get is an absolute opportunity. You can close any single phone call that you get. Most agents would have gone ahead and seen that objection, that stall, that resistance right off the bat, and all of a sudden started backpedaling. I didn't backpedal. I moved forward. I was prepared. I was ready. I was trying to uncover the problem. See, I wasn't thinking about selling Gary. I wasn't thinking about selling his wife. I was thinking about, how do I find out the problem? Let me try to uncover the problem. And the problem was the fact that he was getting way too many phone calls. So was I trying to sell him a supplement plan? Was I trying to talk about quotes? No. What I was doing was I was trying to isolate the problem, because if I could isolate the problem, then I could provide the solution. So the problem was the fact he was getting too many phone calls. And I went ahead, I was empathetic to that. I agreed with him. I addressed it. And at the end of the day, I related to Gary and to his wife. And he started talking. You see, when you start connecting, when you start finding some common ground with the other person right off the bat, and you're not thinking about selling them, but you're thinking about the relationship first, you'll close every sale. That's how you become a sales rock star. So listen to this phone call again. Listen to how I handled it. Listen to how I went ahead and I was empathetic towards their situation. I wasn't thinking about the sale. The sale was not even in my mind, because I always say this: if there's a sale to be had on the phone call, I'm going to get it. I don't have to worry about that. I just have to worry about the fact of trying to figure out what the problem is and being the solution to that problem. And if you can do that, every single phone call you have will turn out to be a positive one. You will walk into the phone call not as a transaction, not thinking about selling them something, but thinking about the fact of creating a relationship. That was what it was. I always say this, and you've heard it before: it can be a one-time transaction, but it has to feel like a lifetime relationship. So ask yourself this question: did Gary start feeling like this was a relationship? I've always said, use first names during the phone call. I started calling Gary by his first name, which started drawing him into the relationship, which all of a sudden he didn't realize that he needed me. And when the phone call was over, guess what happened? Gary didn't just get a supplement plan from me. He didn't just get the drug plan from me. He got me. And that was the most important part of the entire conversation. So now that you've heard this, go out and create relationships with everybody that you talk to on the phone. And what will end up happening is you'll help a lot more Garys in your life. And when you help a lot more Garys in your life, guess what? You'll make more money. Go out there today and be an absolute sales rock star.